Hi guys.
Hello!
I thought you were going to say no again then.
Yes.
Andrew's being colossal vagina today. At least
Today?
Great, we've got this colossal dick to go on.
Anyway, to make up for the horribly abysmal video I did, I think it was like 1 or 2 years back now, which was my top 10 favourite Pokemon, which was horribly thought out and planned. It basically had almost none of my actual favourite Pokemon on there. I even cut Squirtle for Magneton. Anyway, right now we're going to do a top 5.
We're doing a thing.
Yeah, we're doing a thing. We're going to do our top 5 Kanto Pokemon, not including legendaries and not including starters. Basically, how the structure of this video is going to go is we're each going to mention our favourite starter Pokemon and our favourite legendary Pokemon separately before we actually move into the list to give a nice representation of how we feel about the Pokemon in general. Otherwise, I can almost guarantee there'd be at least 2 of the starters on my list. And probably 2 of the legendaries as well, leaving room for 1 normal Pokemon. So yeah. That's how the structure of this video is going to go, and we're hopefully going to do this for every single generation of Pokemon. And on the flip side, I'm also going to be releasing videos of the least favorite Pokemon. Shall we get started?
Does the host want to go first?
Okie dokie. So, I'm going to start off with my favourite starter Pokemon from Kanto. Can we try to keep some professionalism, please?
No. This is on YouTube, there is no such thing.
My favourite starter from Kanto is Blastoise. I've chosen Blastoise for the majority of my playthroughs. I even chose it in X and Y when it gave you the option to have a Kanto starter. So, I'm not entirely sure why, because when I was a kid, green was my favourite colour, and I picked everything based off that. So logic would dictate that my favourite Pokemon would be Bulbasaur, but it was Squirtle, and I didn't even like water types that much either, so I have no idea why it was, but Squirtle has always been my favourite. And Blastoise, with his fucking cannons, looks epic, and even more so now he's got a Mega Evolution. Andrew, would you like to go next and start stroking my hair with your foot?
Yeah.
Remember to project a little bit because I'm not sure how well it's going to get picked up.
Yeah. Right, basically, there's not much going into this. I just like the look of Venusaur. He suits the way I like to play the game. He's slowly and he's annoying. That too. Although I think that applies to all of us to some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to that.
Yeah, there's not very much else to go into him. He's also very pretty when he gets his flowers on him.
Indeed.
Okay. Sweet. Mine, strangely enough, is the final one. Charizard.
Charizard!
Just because I like fire, I like dragons, and I like being a douchebag, which, if you watch the anime, you'll know. So,
Oh god,
yeah.
I forgot.
yeah. So that's my choice. Okay?
Not much else to say, have it?
No, that's the 3 reasons why I picked him. Fire, dragon,
Richard is
douchebag.
just a fan of fire types. Alright. Now
Wait,
I'll move
no,
on
he's not a dragon, is he?
until he gets his X Mega.
Only one of them.
Anyway. We'll now move on to the other separate entry that is not part of the proper list, which is our favourite legendary. Mine is one of the legendary birds, Zapdos. It was always the first one I caught. It was pretty much the only one I caught when I was a kid because I didn't know where the other 2 were, and I always restarted the game before I actually finished it. I don't know why, I played Pokemon weirdly as a kid. Zapdos was always the first one I caught. As a kid, and I guess for nostalgic reasons now, I just love the spiky design of him. And the yellow and black looks really cool, especially with the darker shade of yellow they got. I'm not entirely sure about its typing, but I don't know. I like electric types, and generally their designs are cool.
Mew. just because adorable, pisses off religious people, adorable, pisses off more religious people.
King.
Thing.
I can learn every single move.
That's also nice. It's also not really bad or anything, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Well, the one bad point would be that it's hard to get
Yeah.
if you miss an event.
Mm.
No, well.
Yeah. With mine, the legendary bird Articuno.
Articuno, yeah.
Articuno. 2 reasons. One, I'm a cold-hearted bastard. That matches my characteristics. And 2, I don't know. I can't help but hear the name and think, boy, abandoned that purpose. Oh. Yeah.
Art listening.
Yeah, just talking to it.
That's a good point.
But yeah, I like it.
Well, now we'll move on to the actual top 5. I'll kick the list off at number 5 with my pick, which is the legendary Pokemon, Arcanine. Everyone loves Arcanine. It's some weird mix of a dog, a tiger, and a lion. It looks epic. It's an amazing fire type. If I didn't pick Charmander as my starter, I was going to catch a Growlithe. Because if you saw my last top 10 Pokemon, you'll know that I do like Eevee. But of course Flareon's shit, and even before I knew that, I just could not pass up Arcanine. It's cute as a Growlithe, and it looks absolutely beastly when you evolve it. It's been one of my favourite Pokemon ever since I started playing the games way back when I was like 3. Dog's man best friend. I said that I butchered the grammar in that. No time,
Right. It didn't occur to me to put these in order, so it might take me a moment to choose. Well, this is probably going to be easy. It's mostly on here because of the
Gimmick.
Yeah, essentially. And I know that's why you excluded it. But yeah, I love pretty much all of the evolutions.
Yeah.
Maybe not from a practical standpoint, but
I'm with you on that.
no, that's a completely different Pokemon.
But it can be an Eevee.
That's very true. It could be all of them. And the source again, it's adorable. And I like normal types.
Normal types are nice.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. I'll put mine on the champ. Just because.
Speak up a little bit.
Yeah. I choose the champ just because it reminds me of previous video games which I played. Also,
Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Also, I don't know. I like the fighting type.
I imagine you would continue to cry.
Used to.
More used to.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like the fighting type. It's quite fun. Yeah,
I love playing them again.
Well, providing that's all over with.
Big Gyarados.
My number 4 choice is Golem. It's weird because I really don't like Geodude and I think Graveler's ugly as sin. But once it gets to Golem, for whatever reason, I absolutely adore the Pokemon. It's a kick-ass ground type. I love throwing it in and then when I'm about to lose with it, just explode. That's always a fun thing to do. Like I said, I'm not quite sure what it is about Golem. I think it's I like the colour of like the rock casing, but I don't like it when a Pokemon is completely made out of rock. So I definitely like the more reptilian like appendages and head. And I don't really know. It's a bit of a difficult one because it's always weird to me when one of my favourite Pokemon stem from one of the more common / more annoying Pokemon you see in like the areas. I also tend not to like Pokemon you have to trade to get the final evolution, but for Golem, I definitely think it's worth it. Golem all the way. Fuck Alakazam. Fuck Gengar.
Well, you just fucked some of my list. You're experiencing.
We are.
Firefox ran into an issue with Windows.
No, it was still recording. Sorry guys, my screensaver came on. Anyway, Andrew.
Right. Nathan's 5th place, Arcanine. As he said, everyone loves it. It looks awesome as Arcanine. It looks downright adorable as Growlithe. As fire types go, it's awesome. Again, dog tiger thing. How can you complain?
I used to know what it was actually based off of, but I don't anymore. I think it's like a statue outside of either a Japanese or Chinese thing. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up again, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's based off of.
Plus, I'm pretty sure there's some contrary strategies in the video games to make them incredibly powerful. Like abusing in the close combat, which is also a very nice thing. I think there's much
That'll
else
also
to say.
take down the rock type. Is it weak against rock?
I'm pretty sure fire's weak.
No, it's fire's weak against rock. I think it might be weak against ground too, but it's definitely weak against rock because everything fire flying takes time to
Yeah.
itself.
My 4th place is taken off by EV. Just like you guys. It's pretty much the same reasons.
But you guys, I didn't put Eevee on my list.
God.
Why did you say that snappy at me?
I don't know. Just shut up. 4th place is EV, that's my go.
I guess you're just going to regurgitate Andrew's points anyway, right? Yeah. Fair enough. My number 3 place is another ground type, Sandslash. I just realised on my list I've spelled a Sandslap. So I want Sandslash. Along with Pokemon like Scyther and Kabutops, I loved the Pokemon that had like sharp nails or swords or whatever for hands. The reason I think I like Sandslash more is again same reason for Zapdos really, as the massive spikes. When I was a kid, I thought it was supposed to be a Hedgehog Pokemon, and since I was also a massive fan of the Hedgehog series, that was really cool to me. Although I have found that Sandslash is indeed not a hedgehog, which kind of sucks because it looks so much like a fucking hedgehog. How is it not a hedgehog? Anyway, apparently I'm quite fond of ground type because, as I was saying to these guys, if this was a top 10, and you could see more of my favorite Pokemon from this generation, there would be a lot more ground types on it. But regardless, I just really like Sandslash because it keeps the cuteness it had as Sandshrew like in the face and the body and that, but it gains the badass claws and everything else about it. It might not be particularly powerful. I'm pretty sure it's in the NU category, if I remember right. But that doesn't stop me from absolutely adoring it. Andrew?
What he said.
Wait, Sandslash?
Yep. Sandslash is in 3rd because he's cute and he's got a sort of edgy, cool look about him at the same time. All the times I've used him, he's a capable battler. There's not much else to say that you haven't already.
Fair enough.
Okay. With mine, I'd say, obviously, my top 5 that fire type. So, Magmar. Solely because obviously fire. That one, so far, whenever I've used it, it's gone quite smoothly.
Speak up a bit.
It's gone quite smoothly. But that's pretty much all I've said it. Just because I've used it quite a few times. It's gone well. And
personally, I could never really like Magmar all that much. He has a weird butt thing on his face.
Yeah, well, I spend most of my time eating with an ass or something like that, so I have relatability with that.
Fair enough. Well, moving down to my number 2 pick, I could not have my list without one evolution. Jolteon. You'll notice a theme with my favorite Pokemon of Generation 1, and that is that a lot of them are spiky, and that's because that's what I liked as a kid. And a lot of these Pokemon, not all of them, but a lot of them are for nostalgic reasons, like I have a bigger nostalgic attachment to them. And that's pretty much why a lot of them are on here. Why I can't give too much of an explanation is because I've liked them since I was a kid and didn't know why, other than they're spiky. But upon actually learning about the game and stuff, Jolteon is quite fast. It is quite useful. I'm not sure how well it does in competitive battling because I'm not too much of a competitive battler. But regardless, when I use it against Andrew or against Richard, the very few times I have them, I'm not sure if I have a Jolteon on action one. Regardless, whenever I use one in the games, it works, and it works wonderfully.
You know, I've got my vanilla shell. I'm just saying.
Either way, apart from it just being another electric type that I like the design of, that's about it really. I mean, I promise my next entry on the list is not one that I've liked a lot since I was a kid, so I'll have a bit more of an explanation for that. Andrew, your number two?
Number two, it's really tough between the last two on my list. I'm probably going to have to go Vulpix, or rather, Ninetales. Ninetales is just awesome. I like the story behind it. The Pokedex entries tend to just be awesome.
Oh, if I could interrupt for a second. Ninetales is definitely one of the Pokemon that would have made it onto my top 10 if this was a top 10.
I've lost my thoughts.
You were on Pokedex entries.
Yes. Yeah, Pokedex entries are awesome. And then, I've mostly got into Pokemon through TCG. And I've liked him in there with his ability, and his attack was fairly cool. And of course, Vulpix is goddamn adorable. And again, fire type, there's always something appreciable about fire type, well, for the most part anyway.
Okay. I'd say my number 2, Gyarados. Yes, Gyarados.
At least you're not like some people I know pronounce it Gyarados.
Gyarados! Gyarados, solely because, obviously, you get a reward after putting a bit of magic up for a while.
Yeah, I do like that actually.
Not good design on it. It's useful water type as well, which I do like occasionally. Yeah,
The only thing that I have to complain about with Gyarados is it's water flying and not water dragon. And even as a Mega Evolution, it didn't get the dragon type.
Hey, does I thought it did.
Dark. Makes it water dark.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why?
I don't know. Well, this turned to a different video very quickly.
But yeah, that's
Point
fine.
still stands.
Yes.
Right. Now, for my number one pick, and like I said, this one, while I did like it as a kid, because I was a kid, I was going to like any Pokemon you put in front of me. This was definitely not one I would have called one of my favorites until very recently, and that is Nidoking. Over the years, I've come to greatly appreciate poison types, and as you've seen, ground types as well, which is definitely not a type I would have said was one of my favorites of just like 3 years back. It combines a lot of what I liked as a kid in the spikiness, which is why I'm not sure why I didn't like it as a kid. But it also has something I like as an 18-year-old. I can't quite put my finger on it design-wise. I used one recently in a repeat playthrough of Fire Red, and I absolutely loved using it. I used it almost more than my starter Pokemon. I had it from Nidoran male, evolved it into Nidorino, and I'm not the sort of person who likes using stones right away, because I like to, as weird as it sounds, I like to develop some sort of bond with the Pokemon. So I train it up as a Nidorino, and then when I gave it the Moonstone and it became a Nidoking, it wrecked everything. Seriously, I'm not sure what it was, but for whatever reason, I pretty much played through like 3 gyms worth of the game with Nidoking. I don't know why I liked it so much in terms of like just that playthrough, but since then I've realised it can be a very decent physical attacker as well as a special attacker if you want it to be. Just today, actually, I was looking up multiple builds of a competitive Nidoking. I also like the fact that its moveset that you use doesn't change too much depending on the item you give it, which is something I kind of really dislike when it comes to looking up competitive movesets for other Pokemon. But I like that. Sorry, guys, a screensaver again. I definitely like that with Nidoking, pretty much no matter what item you give it, if you want to make it a physical attacker, you give it these moves. If you want to make it a special attacker, you give it these moves. That's just, I like it being more streamlined. Not to say that I can't follow the more complicated Pokemon that can go in 97 different directions, depending on what item you give it at what time of fucking day. I've rambled on too much. Nidoking is a Pokemon that I came to like very recently, and after using it, looked it up and realised it was pretty decent. It just needs a little, from what I've heard, it just needs a little bit of a boost to be properly competitive.
Also, previous stages are quite cute.
Yeah.
Just thought of that, doesn't know. Right. Favorite is Gengar. Just because I love the looks of Haunter, I love the looks of Ghastly, I especially love the looks of Gengar. Mega Gengar is pretty cool too, even though it didn't exist in this game, but whatever.
Whatever. I never seen Mega Gengar.
Yeah. And as Nathan said, poison types. Like with my favourite starter Venusaur, he shares that. Makes him great at being a squally Pokemon. Ghost can be hard to hit sometimes, especially with its immunity to fighting and normals. And that also gives it access to the Ghost version of Curse, which combined with something like Toxic as a poison type, it just becomes an incredible stall Pokemon.
Plus with Levitate, it stops it getting hit by ground or poison for its weaknesses.
Yeah. It's just an incredibly good tank. Well, not so much tank, it's just really evasive without boosting evasion. Okay, Pokemon, stop taking all the words I could use. But yeah, he's just cool. He's mischievous, his personality is great, and is really useful when you're actually doing a playthrough. Poison Ghost is a typing that I always love. Both together and individually, and that's enough to put him at the top.
Okay. Mine, kind of just because it's the mascot of this guy's team, Onyx. Because for some reason I really enjoyed, especially in the anime, Brock. That was one of my favourite characters. Why do I like that?
Yeah, Ash was retarded.
Yes.
I'm just gonna keep my fucking Pikachu forever. Oh, look, it's a ground type. Go, Pikachu! The only thing about that is it works.
I know, what the fuck? Why did Pikachu? I get that it was a sprinklers, but no. Whatever, I'm gonna be salty for a little bit.
Yeah, just to finish, in general, I like the entire team that Brock uses Vulpix as well.
In the anime, if you're going off games only, uses Geodude Max.
Fair point, but still, I'm mostly going off the anime just because I do a bit of joy. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't play the track about game until you guys. Before I was just watching anime.
And playing your copy of Red, right?
Yes. But yeah, that's pretty much it really. That's the only reason I looked at the top.
His evolution school as well.
Steal it. No, we can't talk of it. It did not exist yet. What is this little tie?
Yeah.
Anyway, providing that's it and there's no closing thoughts.
I have thoughts, but I don't think it's alright to put it on YouTube at the moment.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Tune in soon, probably next week as of when I'm recording this, for our top 5 least favourite Pokemon of Generation 1, with much the same structure as this video. For fuck's sake. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.